When will my reflection show who I am?
We hold still, but we won't hold still. Just something about that life we kill. And if you can't hang, we might just find your lucky pills.
Oh god. Yeah, let's get rid of this fucking hat. I've been waiting like 10 years to finally make this video. There's another plane. When I was in like elementary school and middle school, the main like types of YouTube videos I would watch, I'd watch like Forest Fire 101, pizza movies,
What are you talking about, fool?
and I watched Reptile Room Tours, Prox 2008. He made like 6 videos total. I would watch those videos all the time. It's like YouTube Hall of Fame for me.
The blue-tongued skink, lovely animal. The corn snake, won't disturb him too much. Chinese water dragons, very lazy these two.
One of the things I really enjoy about a lot of Reptile Room Tour videos is just how like raw and unedited they are. It's usually just some dude like filming with his phone, just like, hey guys, today we got this going, and there's no editing. The sound is usually terrible. Half the animals you don't even see. Oh my god, do those videos have so much charm and so much entertainment value. There actually were some videos about like reptile room tours that I would make when I was like 14. I had like maybe 2 animals at the time, but I had a lot of cages, and I would furnish them with extra decorations I had as if I had reptiles, and then I would film just like on a digital camera reptile room videos. That footage is long lost, so you'll never see it, but without further ado, here's the tour. All right, so this
Here in our garage.
is a reptile room. Although I hesitate to call it specifically a reptile room because it really is just my bedroom. So I guess we'll start the tour off. So we're gonna start over here. This is the Timor monitor corner. These guys are pretty cool. They're arboreal monitors. Hey buddy, how you doing? Considering upgrading his cage since he's just in an 18 by 18 by 24 Exoterra. But he doesn't seem to want to use any more of the space. Like he just kind of chills here on the rock. He'll move up and bask on this branch over here. And then sometimes he'll fall asleep in that little cork hide. I think he would be happier in a larger cage, but at the same time, he just barely uses the space he's been given. So his name is Slinky. He's not gonna come out right now. He actually likes to hide behind his actual hide instead of in it. But whatever. I got him in 2017. As far as I know, he is an import. I had seen him at this local pet store of mine for like a year and a half. Every time I go in there to buy mice or crickets, I would just hang out with him, and he was super cool. And then eventually I decided, yeah, I gotta have him. So I bought him and I took him home. He has a lot of issues. He had a lot of stuck shed. He has some teeth missing, and he has some parts of his jaw chewed off, and he's missing a majority of the toes on his front feet. That's Slinky. I guess we'll close up his cage and continue with the tour. For now, he's gonna stay in here. So yeah, it's my Timor monitor. We got a. All right, now we'll walk over here. This over here is a leopard gecko. She's not too fond of handling. I don't really take her out that much, so she's kind of skittish. But when she calms down, she's a joy to be with. So this is Fatty. She is my high yellow leopard gecko. She's actually the only surviving member of a trio of leopard geckos that I got back in 2016. And I got them because a friend of mine, Ryan, had dropped off a bearded dragon sort of randomly on my doorstep. And I didn't really want that bearded dragon because I already had one at the time, and I didn't really need a second bearded dragon to rehabilitate, so I kept it for like a month, and then I traded that bearded dragon and a piece of grapevine for Fatty, a male high yellow, and a male Tremper albino, so it was a pretty good trade. But we still have Fatty. I'm not in love with leopard geckos. I think they're kind of boring. They don't really do a whole lot. I mean,
Father, I crave violence.
there's nothing going on in those eyes. Right? Cold dead stare. Very cute though. When I tongue feed her, sometimes she'll miss the tongs, and then after she misses, it's like she becomes unconfident in herself, and then she gets scared of eating. And yeah, she's a great lizard.
Violence.
Back to the tour. Down here is my corn snake. It's a melanistic. You can see he's in just a regular 50-gallon cage. I just remade this cage actually because his previous cage was quite appalling. It was just wood chips and a bunch of other random crap, and he deserves something better. This is Apollo. He is my oldest reptile here. I've had him since 2013, so he's about 7 years old. I definitely credit Apollo with getting a lot of my friends who are either scared of reptiles or not interested to really love and appreciate them, because he is just so sweet and he's so pretty and he's just so tame. He's just such a good snake. I actually bought him as an adult from a breeder at Repticon. He wasn't quite this big, and he's so healthy. He's still shedding pretty frequently. Definitely one of my easiest reptiles to handle. So yeah, that's Apollo. I'll put him back now and we'll continue the tour. Moving on here, we have my Ackie monitor. Ironically, he doesn't like to hide anywhere in any of his actual hides, so he just likes to camp out under this rock. So I'll go ahead and get him out here so I can show you guys. Good buddy.
Bro, please, I am literally just vibing. Bro, please leave me alone. Bro, please, 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 please.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
He's usually so much better with handling. I don't really understand why he didn't want to come out. Now he's out. This is Cracky. He is my red Ackie monitor. He's about a year old. Got him when he was a hatchling, and now he's, you know, pretty sizable. Not quite full grown yet, obviously, but definitely a good size. He's the only monitor I have that I can actually handle. Ackies are generally just really good for handling. He's grown so much and he's like super active. Eventually I'm gonna upgrade him probably to like a 4x2x2 cage when he gets a little bit bigger, but for right now a 50-gallon is perfect size.
Press me again and your reality will be reduced to but a memory.
But he's super personable. But yeah, Cracky is just super cool. He is the name so because of his crackheadish-esque outbursts. And not like, oh my god, Becky's like such a crackhead type of deal, but like, he literally crawls on the ceiling of his cage and makes so much noise that it wakes me up in the morning. So yeah, he's quite rambunctious, but he's such a good lizard. He's really good with handling. He's so curious and he's so smart too. That's what I love about monitors, is they're just so attentive to everything going on around them. He's finally learning to navigate the wild world around him. So yeah, that's Cracky. He's gonna go ahead and crawl back under his rock over there. See ya, Cracky. Bye! Bye-bye! And over here, you guys know this guy. This is the Jewel Lacerda setup. There he is. Hey. Alright, there he is. His name is Elio. Y'all probably know who he's named after. And if you don't, well, it's a pretty name still for a pretty lizard. Yeah, he's actually super chill with handling despite being a little cage defensive and a little cage flighty. Oh, you can see Cracky's out. Funny thing about having these two next to each other is sometimes they see each other and they don't get aggressive, but they do get a little bit territorial. As far as I can see, they're not incredibly stressed out about it. They're more just so curious about each other's presences more than anything. Definitely one of the coolest lizards I've had. Colors are super nice. He'll get huge too. He'll get, about the size of a bearded dragon. All right, we'll put him back for now. Go in. You good? There he goes. This is the first time I've seen him use his branches, just when I'm putting him back in. All right, bye Elio. Moving on here. Nice big cage with 3 smaller cages on top of it. We'll just start with the big guy down here. This is Bosk, my Savannah monitor. Hey buddy.
Let me in! Let me in!
Savannah monitor is super cool. Bosk is very enthusiastic about food. I can't really handle him. We have some issues going on. He definitely trusts me now, not to be like aggressive and stuff. I'm just gonna make sure he doesn't crawl up out of the cage. But when I got Bosk, he had like parasites, he had ticks, all sorts of external bugs and that kind of stuff. And those ticks specifically, ripping those off, basically shattered any chances that I would ever have to handle this guy ever again. So he's really super defensive about that. He used to be okay, but not so much anymore. But I'm fine with it. Honestly, these lizards are more fun to just sort of step back and observe than actually handle. He is in a custom-made 6 foot by 3 foot by 3 foot. Generally, you should have Savannah monitors in at least an 8 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot cage. Because Bosk is a little bit stunted because of the parasites and all that kind of stuff being in his body for so long, he's pretty small, despite being about 4 years old. So he's a decent size. He's definitely heavy and dense and looking healthy now, but he's not nearly as big as he should be for being 4 years old. Super cool lizard. Definitely wouldn't recommend getting one of these guys. You see a little $30 lizard at the reptile show or at the reptile store, just go get something else. Get a bearded dragon. Get an Aki monitor. Don't get a Savannah monitor. Not the best pets, but I love them all the same. He loves the sound when I hit the latch. Yeah, see, he knows. He thinks I'm gonna open it.
Your fantasies can't.
Yeah, not today. Sorry. So over here is my Mexican black king snake. She had a meal yesterday. Hey, there she is. And here she also is. This is Nyx, like I said, my Mexican black king snake. I got her in July, actually, of 2020, so she's pretty recent. I got her as a hatchling because it was Mexican black king snake season. Around June every year, everyone's jumping for Mexican black king snakes until they go out of stock around the end of the year. It's been a while since I had a baby snake, so it's really cool to sort of see snake go through the growing process once more. She is actually very, very good for a Mexican black king snake. A lot of people with king snakes and milk snakes tend to have issues with their snakes musking everywhere or being really bitey too. King snakes tend to try to eat everything that's near them, including the fingers that feed them as well as themselves. Kind of the prophetic Ouroboros, if you will.
Ouroboros. I don't know what that means. A snake, it's called Ouroboros. I don't think so. I'm Ouroboros. I don't know what that word means.
But not Nyx. No, she is perfectly fine with handling, and she's never tried to bite me. She has musked on me a few times, but that's to be expected. She is a baby. She's growing super fast, and yeah, that's Nyx. I'll go ahead and put her back now. All right, so let's put this back. This is my Baron's Racer, a nice big screen Exoterra cage. She's awesome. She is actually a he, and he is named Athena. Athena was captive bred and sold to me as an adult in 2017. I actually didn't realize that she was actually a male until I saw a female Baron's Racer up close. Baron's Racers are sexually dimorphic. The males are much smaller than the females. She's about 6 feet long. I keep saying she, I mean he, but whatever. Snakes don't have any concept of gender. The actual females get even bigger than that, sometimes 7-8 feet, and about as thick as a ball python. And Athena is a rear-fanged venomous. She is not deadly though. A friend of mine was actually bitten by her a while back. He spent a couple days in the hospital, not because he needed to, but because that he was just under hospital supervision. Baron's Racers are just so active. They are diurnal snakes that are arboreal. She's constantly moving. She'd rather move around than be sedentary and hide all day like a lot of my other snakes. She is pretty food aggressive and pretty skittish, so that makes for not the best snake to handle, but as you can see, she's doing pretty good. Despite all of that, Athena is actually pretty good to handle. So that's Athena. I'll put her back. Definitely one of the coolest snakes I've had. Got the little upturned nose. About 6 feet long, but she's super thin. That's not because she's malnourished or anything. It's just Baron's Racers are very, very slender snakes. All right, so that's Athena. And lastly, over here, just have the white tree frogs. They're nocturnal, so I highly doubt that we'll be able to see them, but go ahead and take a look in here anyway. Yeah, they're usually in this log, and I think they're pretty far down. Oh, there's one. Hey.
Bazinga!
And here's two. So these are my white dumpy tree frogs. They are an absolute chaotic nightmare to handle. This one is Chumbus, she's the female, and this one is Gromulus, he's the male. The goal with their names was to just have something literally as stupid as possible. These animals are just ridiculous. They're so cute, but they are just, they're even less Super fun though. I don't want to hold them for too long because the oils in your hands are not exactly great for frogs. It's kind of hard to tell them apart. I'm starting to compile a collection of songs and sounds that have triggered Gromulus, who's the male, to start croaking, because sometimes I'll just play music and he thinks it's another frog, so he starts like barking back at it, which is funny. He thought that that male was another frog and just started croaking at it. So
Frog.
I'm gonna go ahead and put them back now because they're being a nightmare. So yeah, that's the reptile room right there. Anyway, that's it. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching for me. Like I said, I've been waiting since I was 12 years old to make this video. Anyway, I would highly encourage that you subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video, I would highly encourage you to like it as well. All right, peace.